Roman Reigns' final championship tally sailed past 1,300 days. An absolutely wild number in the modern era, right? It was a reign that dominated the wrestling world for years, making headlines and defining an era. But here's the gut punch, the real head-scratcher. That incredible milestone, the longest of the 21st century, still doesn't crack the top 3 all time. It's hard to imagine, but it's true. Today, we're counting down the 5 longest World Championship reigns in company history. Records that make the Tribal Chief's incredible run look, well, almost human. We're going deep into the annals of wrestling history to uncover reigns that defy belief. So, get ready, because number 1 on this list, that legend reigned for longer than some of you watching this have even been alive. Let that sink in for a second. Roman's reign, the modern era's Mount Everest. Let's properly set the stage here. Roman's unified championship reign began in August 2020 and carved a path of destruction for over 3.5 years. Over those 1,316 days, he main evented multiple WrestleManias, demolished legends, and held WWE's top titles in a death grip. In this modern era of relentless weekly TV, premium live events, and the constant 24-hour scrutiny of social media, that kind of grind is nothing short of ridiculous. It's a physical, mental, and creative marathon. This wasn't just a long reign, it was the longest since the company went national, and it absolutely dwarfed the records that modern wrestlers chase. He blew past CM Punk's iconic 434-day pipe bomb reign. He smashed Brock Lesnar's seemingly endless 503-day run as a part-time beast. For context, most champions today are lucky to hit 200 days. Roman's achievement is monumental, a true testament to his star power and the company's commitment to his character. But here's the thing, his reign, as historic as it was, still fell short of the records carved in granite before cable TV even existed. It's time to meet the true titans of longevity. Honorable mention, the fabulous Moolah's 10,170-day women's reign. All right, we absolutely have to tip our collective caps to this one, even if the record itself is incredibly messy. The fabulous Moolah was officially billed as champion from 1956 all the way to 1984, a mind-boggling span of more than 20 years. It's a number that feels almost mythical. Now, modern historians will quickly point out that the belt was sometimes inactive, occasionally swapped off record, or even lost and then conveniently found again. The landscape of women's wrestling back then was fragmented and far less centralized. Despite the historical nuances and controversies, WWE still officially recognizes that astonishing number. Let's be brutally honest. No woman in today's highly competitive system will ever sniff a 3-decade reign. It's simply not how the business operates anymore. So, Moolah sits in a league of her own, a historical anomaly. This record lives in its own untouchable museum case, a relic of a bygone era that will almost certainly never be repeated. Number 5. Pedro Morales' 1,027-day run. Kicking off our top 5 is the first ever Triple Crown champion in company history, Pedro Morales. From early 1971 to late 1973, Morales was the man, holding the title for a colossal 1,027 days. He was an incredibly popular champion, especially with the passionate fan base in New York, and served as the heroic bridge between the two eras of our #1 entrant. His reign established that a champion could carry the company for years at a time. While Roman Reigns eventually surpassed this number on his way up the mountain, Morales' nearly 3-year reign set a gold standard for what a top babyface champion could be. Number 4. Bruno Sammartino's 1,237-day second reign. The fact that this man appears on the list twice tells you everything you need to know about his legendary status. After his first mythical reign ended, Bruno Sammartino recaptured the championship in late 1973 and held it for another 1,237 days, a run of nearly 3.5 years. This was his second act, and it was still longer than any world title reign of the last 40 years with one exception. Roman Reigns. The tribal chief managed to eclipse Bruno's second-longest reign by just a few months, proving just how rarefied the air gets at this level. Surpassing a record set by Bruno Sammartino is an unimaginable feat in itself, but it still wasn't enough to get him into the top 3. Number 3. Hulk Hogan's 1,474-day mega hero reign. Picture this, it's 1984, MTV is exploding, and Hulkamania is quite literally running wild. Hulk Hogan's first iconic WWE Championship stretch lasted from January '84 all the way until February '88. 4 straight, uninterrupted years of slamming giants, posing for the fans, and selling an absolute mountain of merchandise. That's 1,474 days of kids ripping their shirts in living rooms across America and wrestling becoming a mainstream cultural phenomenon. The company didn't just build a brand around Hogan, they built a generational movement around one larger-than-life character. That's something you simply cannot replicate in today's fragmented media world. Roman Reigns, as massive as he is, was never going to get 4 uninterrupted years at the top in this era. Hogan's number dwarfs Roman's final tally by more than 150 days, and it's the first on our list that the tribal chief failed to reach. Number 2. Bob Backlund's 2,135-day Boy Scout epic. Bob Backlund's first championship run is the forgotten monolith, squashed historically between the spectacle of Hulk Hogan and the legend of Bruno Sammartino. Yet it's a reign that stands impossibly tall. From February 1978 until December 1983, Backlund was the company's squeaky clean, all-American ace, holding the title for 2,135 days. His nearly 6-year marathon is more than 800 days longer than Roman's total. Think about that. It's like adding another entire multi-year reign on top of Roman's. Backlund did it in an era when champions regularly wrestled hour-long matches, traveled grueling distances by car, and sold out Madison Square Garden consistently. There were no private jets and no predetermined TV scripts dictating every move. Modern wellness policies, the intricate dance of TV scripts, and the risk of fan fatigue make a 6-year reign like Backlund's an absolute impossibility now. Roman would have needed to hold the title into 2028 just to get close. Number 1. Bruno Sammartino's 2,803-day cathedral reign. And now we arrive at wrestling's Mount Everest. The pinnacle, the undisputed, unbelievable, almost mythological reign of Bruno Sammartino. Bruno held the WWF Championship from May 1963 to January 1971, an astonishing 2,803 consecutive days, spanning well over 7 years. Let that number resonate, 7.5 years as the top champion. He defended his title against killers like Killer Kowalski and Gorilla Monsoon in smoky bingo halls and legendary venues like Madison Square Garden. Back then, dethroning the champ meant potentially killing an entire territory's main draw. And here's the kicker. If you combine both of Bruno's reigns, you hit 4,040 total days as champion. To match just his first reign, Roman would have needed to stay champion until 2028. In an era where title changes are carefully choreographed to spike social media metrics, no corporate entity would ever allow one person to be the singular focus for that long. Sammartino's number isn't just immortal, it's an anachronism. Everyone else, Roman Reigns included, is just visiting the championship summit. Bruno built the mountain itself. Hey, if you're soaking up this history lesson as much as we are, do us a huge favor and smash that like button. It genuinely helps YouTube know that wrestling past and present both deserve some serious love. And while you're down there, drop a comment naming whose streak you think is the safest from ever being broken. Plus, if you're in the mood for more deep dives, check out our last video on WWE's scariest moments that still give fans nightmare, ranked by pure chaos level. And hey, subscribe if you want that perfect blend of nostalgia with your wrestling news. It helps us keep bringing you more content like that. So there you have it. Roman Reigns' 1,316-day rampage is legendary by any modern standard. It towers over the reigns of titans like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena. He even climbed the all-time list to surpass the monumental reigns of Pedro Morales and one of Bruno Sammartino's. What he did was incredible in today's landscape, but when measured against the true gods who ruled before weekly TV and the internet demanded fresh stories every Monday, Roman's run, as spectacular as it is, falls short of the absolute peak. Hogan's 1,474 days of cultural explosion, Backlund's 2,135-day Ironman epic, and, of course, Bruno Sammartino's impossible 2,803-day cathedral reign. These serve as granite reminders that the very foundations of wrestling have changed. We absolutely respect the tribal chief. His accomplishments are undeniable. But let's never forget the true immortals who sit higher on the mountain, whose records will probably live longer than us all. Thanks for watching, wrestling historians. Who do you think had the most unbreakable reign? Tell us below, hit that like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next countdown.